Hello, Steve here, and today we are going to debunk one of the biggest myths, perhaps in all of Agile, is does a Scrum Master need to have technical skills in order to be effective? And the answer is categorically no. No, Scrum Masters don't need to be technical. They don't need to be able to code. They don't need to be able to or need to have any kind of engineering experience. The difference is the Scrum Master needs to have a bit of awareness as to the level of severity in terms of, like, let's say, for example, there's a big impediment that is stopping and preventing the engineer from progressing. And the Scrum Master kind of needs to be able to gauge and judge, do I need to step in here and help out, or try and find a way in which we can resolve this because it's going to cause a bigger problem? But no, fundamentally, Scrum Masters don't need to be able to really get in and actually fix the problem themselves. No, absolutely not. I'm going to take you back a little bit into my experience. When I first started as a Scrum Master, before I joined, I started in a software company, and before I joined, I didn't have any technical experience at all. I like gadgets, always like gadgets. I like getting sort of involved, all sort of new tech. I have quite a buzz for that sort of stuff. I love all the new Apple products and that sort of stuff. But I've never had any experience in tech. I was working for a charity way back when as a project manager. This is like going back a few years, 15 years or so. So my whole career up until that point I had no exposure to technology and engineering or anything like that. And I was literally taken as a Scrum Master or project manager in those days and literally plonked into this software company. And from the get-go, I had to be able to communicate with engineers. And we all know they're a bit of an odd bunch. They are a unique bunch. I've worked with some of the most skilled and technically astute engineers in all, and it really is incredible how I was able to sort of just build a connection with them, and I was just being myself. Fundamentally, the reason I was able to progress or was able to build my career alongside engineers is because I showed empathy with their struggles and their pain points, and I was a bit of a doer, right? I would just get up and do it. Like, okay, you got a problem, let me see how I can fix it. But the big change for them in terms of their experience, what I brought to the table was that I enabled them to give me the information, or I asked them to give me the information. What do I need to know to be able to go and fix this, or to be able to clear the path? And there would be a few things that I would go through. So we'd have our daily stand up, and they would say there's a bit of a problem here. I'd say, okay, well, first of all, what is the problem? What's the impact? What is it? What is it going to do? What's the risk essentially? Um, is it holding you up? Is there a big risk here? Is there a big problem? And what do we need to do? Do we need to escalate it? Have you got it in hand? Do you need me involved? And most of the time, they're just happy to get on. They just want to be heard, and it's being noted. We're putting on our board, and we're tracking it through. And through the day, I'll be checking in with them and making sure that it's all right. There's no technical language um, discussed. I mean, they try to, but I would put a stop to it. Say, talk to me like I'm six. Try and help me understand what the problem is, so that I can help you. And that's generally the relationship that I would build with them. So it's a real soft skill. That's the difference. It's not engineering. You don't need to have a technical background. I didn't have it. I didn't, like I said, I didn't have any technical knowledge at all, literally from nothing, zilch. But it was a personal skill. It was a soft skill, a personable skill. I was able to tune into them and talk to them in a language that we could both communicate, and that was the key. So if you are a recruiter, um, or if you are a senior leader, and you're looking at Scrum Masters and thinking, well, we need to have some technical knowledge here, otherwise they're not going to be able to understand these guys at all, because these guys are highly technical. Let me tell you something. I once did some work as a Scrum Master with a team of data scientists, and they were on a different plane in terms of language. I mean, it all would just literally go over my head, but I was able to communicate with them because I built up a connection. So when you are looking for the Scrum Master that will fit into your organization, look for the soft skills that they have, way more than technical skills or technical nous. And and if you're a Scrum Master, think of those things. How can I build a connection with these people, with my team? And how can I enable them, or how can I what do I need from them to be able, so that I can help them, right? So that you are really tuning into what they need and be able to communicate on a level that actually you can both progress, as or your team and yourself. You can progress, and that's it. There is no there's no sort of grey area. That's fundamentally it. If you've got a technical, if you've got a Scrum Master, or if you're a Scrum Master and you have technical skills, then great. But don't it's not it's it should never be a deal breaker. Absolutely. The same goes with product owners. You hear all the time about, we need a technical product owner because our software is highly technical. They're not going to be able to understand it. No, absolutely not. No, the engineers need to be able to talk about it and actually help your engineers to communicate better. That's the difference. Break down the silos, break down the barriers that are stopping the communication levels there, and try and help your engineers be able to talk on the same level as product owners or Scrum Masters. And there's a, some commonality. Business analysts are good for that kind of stuff, but tech generally, it should never be a deal breaker if either your product owner or your Scrum Master have zero technical skills. And I'm a case in point. 15 years in Agile, I've been working in some of the biggest, most technical teams, and yeah, I've survived. So that's it. I just wanted to debunk that myth, because you hear it all the time, and it is it's still going, it's still happening, and it's not necessary. And, you might hear, Scrum Masters need to have AI experience. No, no, they don't. It's good honestly, it is good. It's helpful. It is helpful. It can be good for the engineers because they can, um, there is a greater commonality there. And also, sometimes engineers do get frustrated with you if you don't quite understand what they're saying and it goes over your head. But so it does help, but it should never be a deal breaker. And that's kind of where I'll draw a close to this video. But before I go, two things. First of all, if you like this, if this resonates, do subscribe, because I'm doing these more and more now. I kind of like it. I'm trying to bring my experience and my knowledge to help you. If you're a Scrum Master, or if you're an aspiring Agile coach, or if you're an Agile professional and you just want to learn a little bit more, more and more stuff is being dropped, on a regular basis. So do subscribe, and it helps me and it helps everyone, and it's free. So it's all good. The other thing I want to mention as well, if you are a Scrum Master, one of the things that is absolutely non-negotiable is the impact that you can have in your role and be able to influence others, as in leaders, team, your organization, and and build authority. Now, in order to do that, it's something that you just don't get trained. It's not something that is trained, right? It's not part of the curriculum for a Scrum Master, and it's rarely used in the communities. I have created a Scrum Master. It's called an Agile Impact Scorecard, and it's a series of questions, and it will really help you to judge your level of impact. How much impact and influence am I having in my role? And maybe, just maybe, there might be a bit of a ceiling that you've hit, and you're really struggling to work out, well, what is it? Why am I'm doing all the right things at team level, but I just can't seem to break through. This scorecard will give you some of those reasons and some of the blind spots that you're probably missing. You get a custom report, a personalized report at the end, and it will give you some really good insight into just essentially some of the key areas that you might be really struggling with and perhaps not sure, not aware of. So I'll put the link on to that in the notes. And you'll have a chance to come and work with me as well, and maybe I can help you in terms of doing some one-to-ones and that kind of thing. So click on the link below. Take the scorecard. It's not going to cost you anything, and you'll get some really good insights from it. Hopefully that will be really helpful to you. Like this video, and yeah, do subscribe, do the like buttons, all of that kind of stuff that they tell you to do. That will be really good, and I look forward to seeing you again soon for the next one. All right, bye bye.